In the heart of the Philippine forest live the Aitas, one of the country's oldest indigenous groups, whose survival skills have been shaped by thousands of years of intimate connection with the land. As we explore their extraordinary traditional ecological knowledge, a system passed down through generations through observation, practice, and storytelling, we'll get to know these people who have protected their lands with what they collectively know. Their techniques in foraging, hunting, farm making, and navigating dense terrain reveal an unparalleled environmental literacy that has enabled them not only to survive, but to thrive in some of the country's most challenging landscapes. Yet, these skills are more than simple techniques. They form a foundation of the icons' identity, spirituality, and philosophy of sustainability. Their worldview teaches that nature is a buffer, not a resource. As modernization, resettlement, and environmental change reshape their community, the Aita continue to adapt with remarkable resilience. Through their story, this documentary re-examines what truly survival means and how indigenous knowledge can guide modern society toward a more sustainable and respectful way of living. The indigenous Aita people, also known as Aita, Atta, or Ati, are among the earliest inhabitants of the Philippines, with origins traced to ancient migrations from Borneo some 20,000 to 30,000 years ago through a now submerged land bridge. Today, they are largely concentrated in the mountainous and forested regions of Luzon, particularly around the areas historically linked to Mount Pinatubo. The 1991 eruption profoundly altered their way of life, displacing entire communities to resettlement areas and pushing others to the fringes of urban centers. Despite this upheaval, the Aital have preserved a distinct cultural identity rooted in ecological wisdom and ancestral traditions. Their renowned jungle survival knowledge, mastery of bamboo fire making, tracking animals, locating water and edible plants, and navigating dense forests reflects a highly adopted, place-specific form of traditional ecological knowledge, or also known as the TEK. This expertise is so advanced that ITA instructors, including figures like Bonifacio de la Cuenta Florentino, were enlisted to train U.S. military personnel in Subic Bay, demonstrating the global value of indigenous environmental mastery. In contemporary life, Aita communities balance cultural continuity with adaptation. Many have adopted Catholic practices due to centuries of missionary influence, and intermarriage with lowland Filipinos have become increasingly common. Younger generations now attend formal schools, though educational resources remain limited, making elders essential custodians of cultural tradition as they pass down survival skills, rituals, and community practices through lived experience. In terms of land rights, significant progress was made in 2001 when some Aita groups were granted ancestral domain titles over portions of their traditional territories. However, these titles being issued in English rather than in the Aita language underscores ongoing cultural and institutional challenges. Despite such obstacles, the Aita continue to exemplify resilience and ecological intelligence. Their ability to maintain traditional practices while navigating displacement, modernization, and systematic marginalization highlights both their enduring strength and the invaluable role they play in preserving indigenous knowledge for future generations. The Aito people embody a sophisticated form of traditional ecological knowledge, shaped by centuries of intimate interaction with their environment. Their deep and holistic understanding of forest ecosystems, rivers, soil patterns, and seasonal cycles is rooted in daily engagement with the land and refined through generations of observation, experience, and oral tradition. This knowledge forms the foundation of the remarkable resource identification and environmental literacy. The ITA can accurately distinguish edible plants from toxic ones, identify medicinal herbs, and interpret subtle cues in nature, such as animal tracks, cloud formations, or plant behavior to predict weather and locate clean water sources. These abilities are not just survival skills, but also integral parts of cultural system that reflects their harmonious relationship with the natural world. Their subsistence practices demonstrate a model of sustainability that modern societies continue to struggle with. Through hunting, gathering, and Sweden agriculture or kainin, the item manage to meet their needs while causing minimal ecological disturbance. They harvest only what is necessary, ensuring the natural regeneration of forest resources, and their shifting cultivation relies on traditional knowledge of fallow periods, soil fertility, and forest renewal, an inherently sustainable method of land management.
Ako po si Engkar Laksamana. Isa po akong membro sa Adwan. Isa po akong pulot, isang aita. Kami po yung mga katutulong nagkakadugo. Pamilya po ang turing ng bawat isa. Lahat po ay nagtatrabaho. Lahat po ay may obligasyon. Ang kabuhayan namin dito po ay nangangalap po kami ng mga puso, kamote, papaya, at saging. Yun lang pong taga ng kabuhayan namin dito sa Haduan. Pinalaki kami ng magulang namin, hindi nagpapalimos. Kundi pinalaki kami, namulat kami sa aming mga gulang sa pagtitinda. Kaya ngayon ang mga anak namin namulat din sa pagtitinda. Hanggang sa makakaangat yung buhay nila. Kahit mahirap ang ginagawa namin sa buhay namin, para mabuhay lang kami, mabuhay ang aming mga anak. Nagtitinda po kami pababa, papunta sa Pure Gold. Nakakabenta kami ng mga 500. Pero kung nakipagtinda ka lang, 200. Tsaka kung walang bumibili, nagtsatsagaan mo lang mga 250, yun lang.
Dito kasi bawal yung bawal yung matulog ka maghapon eh. Kailangan kapag matulog ka maghapon, huwag kang kakain. Hindi mo pinantrabaho eh. Pag ka, may kakainin ka. Ngayon kapag natulog ka, huwag kang kakain maghapon. Kakain ka na lang bukas na umaga.
Itong ginagawa namin para po sa anak namin nag-aaral. Kulang pa yung kikitain namin. Araw-araw, 50 pesos. Minsan 100. Minsan 70. Pinagbabaon po nila pababa sa Airport City.
Ang problema natin dito is kapag pumasok sa high school yung bata, nahihirapan din siya. Naglalakad siya rito, maalis siya rito ng madaling araw, maglalakad hanggang Airport City, yung mga high school natin. So yun nga, gumawa tayo ng paraan kung paano tayo makahingi ng eskwelahan na kahit hanggang grade 11 lang naman. Nagtiis tayong kalalakad, papalo up hanggang sa pumutok nga yung budget ng yung eskwelahan natin.
Sabi ko sa mga anak namin, kailangan kako yung pinaghirapan namin, huwag niyo lang baliwalain. Mas mahirap ang nagtitinda. Kung walang binibili, parang naiiyak ka na lang. Kahit mahirap ang ginagawa, parang nagagaang. Kasi mas maganda yung pinaghihirapan mo. Huwag lang maasa ka sa mga gobyerno. Huwag niasa yung sa buhay mo sa gobyerno. Kailangan itayo mo ang sarili mo. Ang gayon yung mga anak namin, kaya nilang itayo ang kanilang sarili. Kaya yung mga anak namin, pagtsatsagaan niyo kako yung pag-aaral niyo, sa awa ng Panginoon, kung wala na kami, nakatapos kayo sa pag-aaral, magagamit niyo rin sa kapwa niyong tao. Hindi sa sarili niyong pansarili. Makatulong din kayo sa kapwa niyo. Yun na lang.
Their adaptive strategies further highlight their resilience after the 1991 Mount Pinatubo eruption disrupted their lives. The Aita rebuilt their livelihoods using skills in foraging, shelter construction, and terrain assessment. Their TEK thus doubles as a natural disaster response mechanism, equipping them with the ability to adapt to environmental upheavals and contributing significantly to climate resilience. This intricate knowledge system is passed down through intergenerational learning, where children acquire ecological skills directly through experience rather than through formal education. Elders teach the youth during forest activities, hunting trips, and daily subsistence tasks, ensuring that knowledge is lived rather than merely taught. However, modernization and increasing pressures from formal schooling pose challenges to the continuity of PEK, underscoring the need for culturally responsive educational models. At the heart of the Aita way of life is an environmental philosophy grounded in reciprocity and respect. Their worldview rejects excessive extraction or accumulation and instead promotes balance and sustainability.
Pinakamabigat na suliranin na na hinaharap ngayon dito sa community, gaya ng mga investment na yan. Yung kasing lupain ninunong sinasabi natin, yung ancestral domain land, pag-aari ng mga katutubo. Yan ang pinakamabigat na suliranin na hinaharap namin ngayon. Yung kinukuha yung ibang lupa, kaya tignan ninyo yung kung saan kayo lumabas ngayon. Yun, pinag-away-awayan namin yung parting kung na yung Gate 49, is kung yung binawi ko sa investor doon is 42 hectares 42 hectares ang nabawi natin doon sa investor. Gusto ko lang maipabot naman sa kanila na bigyan nilang pansin yung problema ng katutubo pagdating sa ancestral domain. At lalong-lalo na dahil malilit na tao lang naman kami, minsan kung wala lang tutulong sa'yo, hindi ka makaabot ng Manila. Minsan nanghihiram lang kami ng sasakyan para makabot lang doon, para may pasok lang namin yung problema. Ang hirap ang nangyayari sa amin.
Dito lang po wag lang po kami pakikialaman dito sa aming baryo, sa Haduan. Yun lang po ang pinapaabot namin sa iba't ibang gobyerno. Kasi dito, kontento na kami sa aming buhay sa lugar na Haduan.
Through this lens, the ITO offer invaluable insights into how indigenous knowledge systems can enrich modern approaches to sustainable development and climate adaptation. The Itas possess a rich and intricate set of survival skills, deeply rooted in their connection to the natural world. One of their most notable practices is their use of herbal medicine, where they draw on extensive knowledge of local plants to heal wounds, treat illnesses, and maintain overall well-being. This practice is intertwined with the Pag-aalito ritual, a traditional healing ceremony that reflects their belief in the spiritual dimensions of health. Their resourcefulness extends to bamboo crafting, a skill that allows them to create kitchen utensils, containers, and even cooking vessels entirely from bamboo. They are known for preparing rice inside bamboo tubes, a method that requires precise knowledge of heat, timing, and the properties of the plant. These skills not only demonstrate creativity and efficiency, but also highlight their ability to make full use of forest materials without causing harm to the environment. Foraging and hunting are also essential to Aita's survival, supported by their deep awareness of edible plants, fruits, and foods. Their hunting techniques rely on minimal tools and maximum knowledge, silent tracking, understanding animal behavior, and using handcrafted traps suited to their terrain. Their forest navigation skills are equally sophisticated. The Aita can locate clean water sources by reading natural indicators such as plant characteristics, soil moisture, and animal movement. This environmental intuition allows them to move through dense forests with confidence and precision. Complementing their physical skills is their spiritual practice of subkung, which reflects their belief that health and illness are influenced by the unseen world. Through rituals of protection and healing, they seek harmony with the spirits they believe inhabit their surroundings. Together, these practices form a holistic survival system, one that blends ecological knowledge, craftsmanship, spirituality, and a profound respect for the natural world.
Yung pangalan ko, Susan Alvaro. Ako yung bilang na magulang ng mga bata. Sila ay nakatira sa bundok, yung naggagawa sila ng iba-ibang klaseng panggagasak. Pag nakagasak na sila, magtanim sila. Magtanim sila ng yung gabi, kamuting kahoy, patani, sigarilyas. Yung unang panahon, ubi, yan ang kinabubuhayan ng mga Aita. Natuto namin sa mga magulang namin, sa mga apo. Namana ng mga magulang namin sa mga apo namin. Yung pag natutuyo na yung patani, ganito yung estado niya.
Estado.
Ayan. Ito yung sariwa. Ito yung
Tuyo.
tuyo. Oh, tignan mo yung bunga niya. Oh.
Nakakain yan.
Oh. Ito masarap sa karne ng baboy, manok. Lagyan mo ng kamatis, petsay.
Meron ka din ampalaya?
Wala nang ampalaya, tag-ulan lang kasi. Sana kung nakakaakyat kayo ng buwan ng August, yan. July, may bunga na, ay, may na-harvest na. Dalawa, tatlo, apat. Presya! Presya! Mamuti kayo na sa sako, taamlag ka uti sa bawa, ato sako. Ato sako. Dagdagan na natin kasi para magdala kayo. Salita namin dito mag-indi. Sa sakop ng porak mag-ansi. Kahit Aita kami, hindi parehas ang language ng Aita. Iba-iba kaming language ng Aita eh. Hindi kahit saan sa buong mundo. Iisa lang yung sa buong mundo ang Aita. Ito yung masarap na siling labuyo na tumutubo lang sa kabundukan ng mga Aita. Dito sa barangay na Buklod, kahit saan na bundok, tumutubo yung larang labuyo.
So yan na totoo
Siya,
labuyo yan.
oo.
Yung iba kasi hindi.
Hindi, totoong labuyo sir, oh. Hindi man namin tinanim, tumubo lang. Oh, ito yung pinakamaliit. Ito yung pinakamaliit na bunga. Ba't hindi ninyo tikmanin anak ko? At Diyos, maang-ang ka. Ito yung ano. Oh, ito yung laman na. Ito yung iluluto mamaya. Puti siya, oh. Ito yung lagyan ng patani mamaya.
Ubi ba yan? Gabi yan
Hindi, gabi nga. Yung ubi, kinuha na yung laman eh. Oh, ito na lang yung natira. Hindi na pwede iluto ito. Tatignan ko yung dito. Pagka kinuha na ano na kasi eh. Ito na lang yung bunga niya parang naiwan. Lagay ko na lang dito yung bunga. Para tumubo na naman. Ah, ito pala. Ito yung laman niya, oh. Yan. Kaya alam ko kasi ako yung nagtanim eh. Kaya alam ko silang hanapin kung saan sila nakatanim. Oh, yan na. Oh, ianuin ko yung ano niya, oh. Kaya lang may puti siya. Ninakaw yung ibang ubi namin dyan, eh, kaya nagwawala ako. Yeah. Tuya ba?
Violet, no? Oh?
Yan, luto mamaya sa bahay.
Ano po nangyari sa inyo nung pumutok yung mga pinatubo?
Nagtakbuhan yung mga aita. Isa pa yung anak ko, 5 taon pa. Dala-dala ko, isa pa yung anak ko, dala-dala akong nagtakbuhan sa evacuation. Nagulo ang buhay ng katutubong aita. Nasa evacuation, nung bumalik kami, dito na lang kami tinira ng gobyerno, dito na lang. Nagtanim kami. Kaya lang na yun, dahil na ano yung nawasak na yung lupa, naging nakamix na yung buangin, nawala yung pagtatanim namin ng palay. Importante yung bukid kasi sa isang aita kasi doon namumuhay ang unang panahon na aita. Kung wala yung bukid na yon, hindi nabubuhay ang aita. Kahit binibigyan ng pagkain yung aita, hindi naman sapat kung hindi ka magtanim. Kaya kabisado namin yung lupa. Nagisingan nga namin sa mga lola namin, sa nanay namin. Palagi namin sinasabi sa kapwa ang aita namin, katutubo na, hindi tayo umaasa sa tulong lang. Dapat tayong sumipag dahil sarili natin yung lupa. Hindi natin binili yung lupa. Minana lang natin sa mga apo o magulang. Iniwan sa atin para pagsikapan natin na tamnan ng mga prutas o gulay, kung ano yung pwedeng itanim pag tag-ulan. Teka, dan kayo bisa ko. May butuan pa, di ba? Ay, teka, kamu hati. Aw. Ito yung pagputol ng buo sa Tagalog, itong bambo. Ito dito kami ginagamit sa pagluluto sa kabundukan pag walang kaldera. Paglutuan ng ulam, kanin. Lutuan ng sabaw. Kung wala ka kaldera sa puro, sabaw. Huwag kakalimutan ang dating kinakain sa bundok. Dapat alagaan. Satu si Kresi. Yan ang kadalasan na problema sa ibang lugar. Sa ancestral domain, sa lupa. Minsan inaagaw ng unat. Kahit sabihin mo ng minana namin sa magulang o apo, hindi mo pala alam, may nakikipag-agaw pa. Hindi maganda yun, anak ko. Parang nakikipag-away pa yung ibang tao sa mga aita. Dapat nag-aral ka man o hindi ka nag-aral, huwag mong inaapak-apakan ang kapwa mong aita, na binabastos mo yung kapwa mong aita.
Yung pangarap namin sana sa ibang Aita na katulad namin ng Aita na. Sana wag aagawan ng ibang tao ang mga lugar nila. Kasi kawawa rin sila eh. Ito yung kardis sa salita ng Aita Karu. Sa Aita Karu ito. Kardis sa Tagalog.
Anong luto dyan?
Yan yung iaalo nga dito. Iaalo mamaya para matikman ninyo. Para ang pagkain ng Aita, matikman ninyo na ibang walang. Nung unang panahon kasi hindi kami gumagamit ng taba, yung mantika. Alos pinapakulo lang yung kinakain ng Aita. Minsan walang betsit, basta asin lang. Nabubuhay na yung Aita.
Ganyan po yung pagtatalik ng patani po. Yan.
Namin to.
Yung takip niya, takap. Na may nakamix na yun. Na yung sinasabi sukit. Kaya lang, wala siyang sagin, wala siyang kamuting baging. Yung linalaga. Dapat dalawa pa yung wala doon eh. Kamuting baging, saka sagin. Ito yung anak ko. Naurog kasi yung takip nila.
Pidya, pila ning minuto yun?
4.
Oo, ne. Adwang kante magsina.
Laboy-laboy. Laboy na natin. Yan ang pagkain sa bundok.
Tawag yan. Ay, tawag sa sabaw niya.
Sikit yan.
survival secrets taught by Aita tribesmen to American military pilots are grounded in centuries-old traditional ecological knowledge, a system refined through constant interaction with the forest. Unlike modern survival training, which depends heavily on standardized procedures, tools, and technology, Aita methods rely entirely on the natural environment. Their water procurement techniques, drawing clean water from vines, bamboo nodes, and natural springs using plant indicators, demonstrate an intimate understanding of the forest resources. They construct shelters from locally available materials perfectly adapted to the tropical climate, showcasing craftsmanship and efficiency that require no synthetic tools. Their approach to foraging and hunting emphasizes silent movement, species-specific tracking, and trap-making rooted in deep ecological literacy. Even fire making is achieved through bamboo friction and natural tinder and skill effective even in wet conditions where matches or modern fire starters may fail. Navigation too becomes an art guided by sunlight, natural landmarks, plant growth boundaries, and animal trails, contrasting sharply with modern reliance on maps, compasses, and GPS devices.
Underlying these techniques is a distinct survival philosophy. For the Aita, survival is not just a series of emergency procedures, but a way of life. A continuous relationship with the environment that is both practical and spiritual. Modern survival training focuses on preparedness, tactical decision-making, and stress management, equipping trainees for variant terrains and situations with the help of specialized gear. While modern systems offer precision and broad applicability, Aita methods excel in equipment-free scenarios, but particularly in humid, forested environments whose technology may vary. The comparison between these two systems reveal not a hierarchy, but a balance of strengths. Aita knowledge offers adaptability and resourcefulness grounded in nature, while modern training provides structure and consistency. Together, they form a complementary framework that enriches our understanding of survival, showing how indigenous expertise and contemporary methods can coexist and inform one another. As we leave the forest trails and return to the noise of modern life, the lessons of the Aita remain with us. Their ability to read the land, heal through nature, navigate without tools, and rebuild after disasters such as the 1991 Mount Pinatubo shows that survival is not merely a set of skills, it is a relationship. The Aita reminds us that knowledge does not always come from books or laboratories. Sometimes, it comes from listening to the wind, observing the trees, and honoring the spirits believed to dwell within the natural world. Their practices reveal a sophisticated ecological intelligence that predates modern science, yet aligns seamlessly with today's ideas of sustainability and climate resilience. In a world increasingly disconnected from nature, the Aita offer a powerful reminder: progress does not require abandoning tradition. As their survival techniques continue to inspire soldiers, scientists, tourists, and educators, the challenge now is to protect not only their land, but also the knowledge rooted in it. These documentaries stand as a testament to their enduring wisdom, and a call to recognize indigenous communities not as relics of the past, but as teachers whose insights are vital for our shared future. I am Juliana Lusto.
I am Camila Orlifio.
Agyaman kami!
Kahit na nahihirapan po kami sa aming kalagayan, masaya na po kami. Masaya na po ang aming mga anak kung wala pong manggugulo sa aming baryo.